NSJT. No secrets, just truth. The anatomy of an artist. I remember my first steps. I remember my first tears. I remember my first cry. And I remember the anger that I felt inside. Looking out into the world, hoping that they could feel and see and understand what I was going through. I understand that life comes with a lot of ups and downs. That our life is not stagnant, but ever flowing. Moving with the fruition of time. I remember saying to myself over and over again, if we can make it to the next minute, if we can make it to the next day. I remember saying if we can make it to the next month, if I can make it to the next year, everything will get better. I remember that I had to dig deep within myself to inspire something, anything. I remember looking out onto the world, asking myself, how could the world not see the torture and the tyranny that I was going through? How could they not see the tears written upon my cheek from the stains of abuse, from the stains of emotional abuse? I remember saying to myself, how can I fight something that is bigger than who I am, something that's bigger than me? I remember at 4 years old holding a gun in my hand. I remember my finger being on the trigger. I remember ready to pull that trigger. I remember digging in the trash can for food. I remember eating toilet paper to survive. I remember the darkness of my past. I remember the pain and the hurt. I remember the tears. I remember it all. So when people look at me and say, who are you? It is hard for me to answer because I have been everything imaginable. Afraid, alone, disassociative. I remember every single detail of everything that happened to me. I remember most wanting to be free of the pain and the anguish, free of the doubt, free of the chains of sorrow. I remember trying to have a voice. I remember being afraid to use that voice to stop what was going on. I remember my environment, that I was not the only one fighting to survive their life, fighting to survive their environment, fighting to survive their situation. I remember that there were other eyes that carried the same glimmer of tears that I did. I remember feeling as if I was dying on the inside while living on the outside. I remember the bullseye that made me the victim of not only abuse at home, but to bullies at school, bullies at work. I remember I was the one that they believed would topple, that they believed would shatter at the touch of them into 1,000 pieces. I remember what matters the most, the prayers that I prayed, the hope that I had, the dreams that I had of moving forward, moving beyond the pain, moving beyond the tears and the fears, capturing the flag of victory. I remember me looking on to destiny saying, I will get there, that I shall not fail, that I was worthy to be loved for who I am, worthy to be listened to, worthy enough to be pulled out of the mess that was my life. I remember digging deep down inside, looking for that extra momentum to move the ball forward, to break the chains, to end the cycle, to begin a new cycle of hope, of healing, of peace, of truth. I remember taking to the page to vent out what I believe was the framework of life. I remember splitting in three. I remember the darkness that swept over my family as if it was the plague, as if it was the flu, as if it was a common disease that could be catched by speaking, by touching, by being in the same room. I remember being punished for being the spitting image of my father. I remember those who said that they would and didn't. The broken promises of society, the broken promises of friends, the broken promises of life. I remember that we are not guaranteed the perfect home life. We're not guaranteed the perfect personal life. We're not guaranteed the perfect professional life. I stand today saying that I'm bearing my wounds so that others may begin to heal, so that others can begin to know that this life comes with many challenges, comes with many burdens, that my heart aches every time I hear a story of someone going through something like what I went through, without having someone standing there to comfort them, without having someone there to wipe away the tears and say, you will make it till tomorrow. I remember those who stood with me in the trenches of my war. I remember those who encouraged me to fight back. I remember those who gave me the strength to speak out. I remember those who gave me the time to heal, to recover, to reveal who I am on the inside. I remember the days that it took to overcome the wounds that were inflicted upon me, because there were wounds inflicted upon my abuser. I remember that those who bullied me was also bullied. So I began to create something that will make a difference in every life that I will enter. I remember creating something that which matters the most to me now. NSJT, no secrets, just truth. I remember standing and fighting with the breath of hope, with the strength of truth, with the power of faith, with the friends of righteousness with me. They led me to a place where I could begin to speak and heal and show the world that they have not conquered me, but I have conquered the circumstances which gave birth to me. So I say to you, be not afraid, stand firm, walk forward, hold your head up high, and remember, your life is in your hands.